Good morning, everybody. First of all, I would like to appreciate the organizers of this conference who gave me an opportunity to be here and speak few words about the Nepalese legal systems and Nepalese law about the religion and the religion educations. Actually, I would also like to thank the Professor Cole Durham and the Elena Mirisnikova, whom I met them in the conference in Washington, D.C. 2 years ago. Just in that conference, Elena casually mentioned me to write a few lines on the religious education system in Nepal. And after coming back to the Nepal also, she insisted me to write, and just I wrote a few very short notes on the Nepalese education systems, religious education particularly. Then I sent this, and this time she organized this institution organized this conference, and they invited me, and I came here to meet all the friends and relatives, friends here, and whom I know in last many years, and to share the few words about the religious educations in Nepal and what is going with the experience with other participants. Whereas the Nepal is concerned, maybe it is though we call it a very small country, but if you compare with the European nations, it is far, far bigger than many European countries in terms of territory and the populations. Psychologically, we say very small because it is in the northern side we have the China, and the southern side we have the India, two biggest Asian giants with the huge populations. So Nepal population is also, with the latest census, it is approximately 27 millions, and the territory-wise it is 144,000 square kilometers, and it is a very mountainous country, very much like Slovenia, but our mountains are far more higher than your mountains. But Nepal is, of course, it is a multi-ethnic, multilingual, multi-religious, and diverse cultures. Nepal is a country of highly diverse traditions and rich culture. Different kinds of festivals celebrated throughout the year based on the customs and beliefs residing in the different parts of the Nepal. The culture of Nepal is very unique combination of traditions and novelty. The culture of Nepal also includes the codes of manners such as dress codes, language, rituals, norms of behaviors, and the system of beliefs, and so on. In Nepal, folklore and the folk tales have remained an integral part of the Nepalese society. They reveal the different dimensions of social and cultural life of people. They have the various regional and ethnic colors. Nepal Heritage Society has compiled 1,262 significant agricultural and archaeological sites in Nepal, which represent the diversity of cultures in Nepal. Even in Kathmandu Valley itself, we have the 7 UNESCO declared World Heritage Sites in the only single city. Religion-wise, about 80% of the populations are Hindu, 10% are Buddhist, remaining 10% includes Islam, Christians, nature worshippers, and so-called non-believers, and so on. Till 1951, Nepal was a closed country. No foreigners, no Europeans were allowed to come to Nepal. Even the diplomats and other peoples, those who visited Nepal, had to come with special permission. So only after 1951, Nepal was open to the outside worlds. So many things is still mystery for the outside worlds in Nepal. But now, till 2007, Nepal was a Hindu kingdom. Though it was declared as a Hindu kingdom, but the religious freedoms was guaranteed by the constitutions. And the constitutions clearly mentions that no person shall be discriminated on the ground of caste, religious, and sex, and so on. After the 10 years of Maoist insurgency and the peace accord, in 2007, Nepal has declared proclaimed a new interim constitution and Nepal is declared as a secular state. But the Nepalese constitution declared as a secular state, but it is not completely separated from the states. Our understanding of the secularism is to treat all religious equally and equal treatment to all religious groups and the communities. And just to feel the minority, religious minorities and other people to feel secured by, equally protected by the law and the states. So state, though it is a secular state, but state try to treat all religious groups and community equality, and they supports them with giving the different kinds of fundings to the religious groups. For example, they subsidize the Muslim community to go to the Hajj. They give the certain financial support to the different Buddhist stupas and so on. But even then, the constitution on the one hand, it's guarantee the religious freedoms to all Nepalese citizens. But in Nepal, there is a very unique position. I don't know in other constitution anywhere in the world. In Nepal, we have an anti-conversion, very strict anti-conversion act. Constitution guarantees to practice and profess the religion, but it does not give to choose the religion to the individual people. Only the people who had followed their religious faith from the traditionally, from generation to generation, that is guaranteed. But nobody is allowed to convert one religion to another religion. Religion conversion is a criminal offense. It is punishable by law. So, on the other hand, you can say that, of course, the Constitution guarantees the religious freedom of religions, but you can say that it is the very strict control of the government law, and it does not give you the right to choose. So nobody is allowed to convert from one religious to another religion. That is the unique position in the Nepalese law. Where are the religious education is concerned? In Nepal, religious education is not the integral part of the national education systems. Education all the education, whether it is the professional, vocational, or any other types of education, it comes under the Ministry of Education. And under the domain of the Ministry of Education. And the religious education is not the integral part of that national education systems. But there are religious societies. They have their own schools. They can run there, and government give them funds to run that schools also. For example, for Muslims, they have the madrasas. For Buddhists, they have they have the religious school one there in their monastery, and the Hindus, they have their religious schools in their temple premises and some other places. And that education, basically that education also to prepare for the priests, kajis, or lamas, or these type of persons who run the religious ceremonies and all these things also. And beside this, we have 2 universities in Nepal. It looks like very much religious university, but in reality, they are not a religious university. For example, we have the one Sanskrit University, and another we have the Buddhist University. Sanskrit University, it looks like a very much Hindu university, but it is not like that, because the Sanskrit University, they teach only the Sanskrit literature, philosophy, whatever they have, the astrology, or other Ayurvedic medicines and other traditional things also. It is also not a religious. And similarly, the Buddhist University also, they have all the other university programs, but they do have a certain programs such as diploma courses, postgraduate diploma and diploma courses on Buddhist studies. And they do the studies on the Buddhist philosophy and different systems of Buddhist sects and all these things. And another very interesting factor is that we have the education systems, we have the government schools, community schools, schools run by the religious society trusts, run by the trusts, and we have the schools run by the communities. One type of school, it is totally funded by the government. On the other schools, community school, partly funded by the government and partly the community itself. They generate the resources and run the schools. Another private school, it is like a pure private, the business company schools, Just they charge the fee and education fee and other things, they run the school. And the schools run by the trust. And government give the certain amount of money to the trust, not directly to these schools. Sometimes they give directly to the schools also. Normally, the government allocated certain funds to the trust, and trust runs this type of schools. And basically, these trust-run schools are the religious schools. That is not for the higher education. Basically, to train the people for this religious purpose. And another thing is, of course, the state has not given any much attention to the religious education and religious values. Basically, the whole society itself in Nepal is very much dominated by the Hindu rituals and cultures. And of course, state is trying to give the equal treatment to all religions also, but it is quite obvious that the majority, absolute majority of people being the Hindus, and all the government had given the holidays for the all religions. So I think the Nepal has the highest numbers of the religious holidays. They have given the holidays to the Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists. We have all sects of religions. And another thing is very unique in Nepal, that the language is also more one way, and another way is very much related to the religious also. We have different ethnic groups. We have officially registers more than 63 state-recognized ethnic groups. And within these groups also there are different subsects. And similarly, we have more than hundreds languages and dialects. For example, all the Hindu rituals are performed in the Sanskrit language. And that basically we have the Sanskrit University. The university teaches in the Sanskrit language, though they don't give the particular religious education, but all the literature, this astrology, or the medicines, everything, the textbooks and everything are Sanskrit. And the literature and philosophy written in the Sanskrit language, they are very much influenced on the Hindu philosophy also. And this way, though Sanskrit is not a living language, it is the dead language, but all the rituals in the Hindu rituals are performed in the Sanskrit language. Similarly, we have in the northern border area, they speak the Tibetan language, or very much like Tibetan, but with mix up with the local dialects. And these in the Buddhist monasteries, or the rituals are performed in this Tibetan language. Or there are another sects of Buddhists, and there, the rituals are performed in the Pali language. Pali language is the original language of the Buddhist literature. And similarly, in madrasas and other things, they pray very much in Arabic and some other type of languages. So this language group is also one way or another way is very much close to the religious or ethnic groups also. So the government has given to protect these cultural values, as this language are taught in different universities and schools, and these are allowed. And these were not directly, indirectly, these were to some extent the religious education, though are coming to the school level also, though it is not the education, religious education is not the integral part of the national education system. But in way of language and other indirectly, these things are coming here. So I think now my time is over. Thank you very much for listening and attention. If you have any questions and queries, I will be happy to respond to my to best of my knowledge. Thank you very much.